everyone. Welcome back, listeners, to the Mindful Living podcast with your host, Sana, where we explore practical tools, expert insights from the mindfulness perspective to help you live a more intentional and empowered life. Today's episode is a must listen for anyone who owns a home or wants to protect their loved ones from future stress. And joining us is Oscar Vasquez, founder of estatedoc.prep.com and a true expert in estate planning. With shocking stats like 68% of Americans lacking a valid will or estate plan, Oscar's here to demystify the often overlooked world of wills and living trusts. Should you opt for a will, a living trust, or both? Oscar will break it all down in simple terms, helping you make more informed decisions that could save your family thousands. So, everyone, get ready for an enlightening conversation that might just be the most important thing you do for your legacy. Oscar, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor having you with us today.
Okay, well, thank you for having me, and I'm excited to bring massive value to your audience and educate them on getting peace of mind by having a estate plan in place.
Absolutely. So, Oscar, how can creating a will or living trust, from a mindfulness standpoint, can help individuals bring peace of mind and reduce stress about the future?
Well, um, I think the first thing that I like to do is I want to find what a living trust is, and because understanding what an estate plan is also known as a living trust. And a living trust is a document or a contract between you, which is usually the parents, and your children, which are named also as the beneficiaries. And that contract and that the courts enforce. So it's a contract that between you and your kids that the courts enforce. That means that as long as it has the legal wording that is recognized by each state of the land, the legal document can be used in any late. So are in any state that can be used. So understanding that with our software, we have compliance with every state in the land.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the first thing that I like for people to understand and giving that on there. Now, why I could tell you a story that there's a gentleman had several pieces of property, did not have an estate plan in place, got diagnosed with terminal illness, and um he knew we've been talking for a while, but he just, was not planning on dying or getting sick. And his phone call from his child, from his oldest son, was that his father wanted to see you, and we created what's called a estate plan, a living trust, and we created it in 4 days. And the week after we funded the estate plan, he passed away. And I share that story because we don't never know when it's going to be too late. Is it too late? And is estate planning something we should plan on? I think that it should be done sooner than later, because yesterday is in the past, tomorrow is not promised, and today is the right day, right? So when you're listening to this, having peace of mind or having a mindful living, right? Thinking of what in the mindset case is, that's probably the one of the biggest things that we can handle or help with.
Beautiful. Very rightfully said, Oscar. Many people procrastinate on estate planning due to fear or, discomfort. So, what mindful practices or mindset shifts can help them approach this process with ease?
Okay, well, I think the first thing is one, now that you understand what a an estate plan is, I think one is to be able to approach it with ease is knowing what the biggest benefits are, because understanding the benefits of an estate plan will give you even more ease, because it'll bring awareness for you that if you didn't know what all that it brings if you don't do one, right? So I think that the first step is understanding in depth of all the benefits, and I'll go over a few benefits. I'll go over a few benefits of having a living trust now. So having an estate plan, one, it one of the biggest economic benefits is that your kids, when they sell the property or liquidate the home or the family home or the investment, they will have a step up basis. That's one of probably the largest. I'll give you an example. The client that passed away that got a terminal illness, his average cost per property was about $150,000, and his cost basis or went from 150,000 to 800,000. So his kids would have had to pay taxes on that property from 100,000, but because he had a living trust and the tax basis went up to 800,000, the kids had to pay no taxes because the tax basis of the home went up. That's the first and probably one of the largest benefits, economic benefits. The second benefit that you're going to get from and peace of mind the from having an estate plan is that you will avoid probate. That means you're going to avoid probate. That means three things. A probate means that the court decides on what happens to your things. Two, you're going to have to pay in California. If you own a house in California, the average cost for a $500,000 estate is estimated to be 500 for $500,000, which is every home in California, most of the homes in California, or exceed that, it starts off at $26,000. So the 21 is you have to pay probate fees. Three, the third economic benefit for the estate plan is that the kids won't have to wait 12 to 18 months to see the money. That means that they're going to see the money sooner than later in order to be able to make that happen. So, with that said, um, those are the three economic benefits that you will have peace of mind knowing that that is. Now, you also will have a very peaceful mind by being able to know that your kids are going to have specific instructions of what you want to have happen with your body, right? Two, you're going to know that there's going to be no arguing or debating or question about what you wanted to have happen, what kind of ceremony, and where your ceremony is going to be held, because those are all in the living trust when it's called on the afterlife instructions. Then you're also going to have and know that your wishes are going to be um done according to the executor, according to your plan. So one, knowing that the government's not going to decide, that should give you peace of mind. Two, you're going to have specific instructions on there which will give you peace of mind. Three, also knowing that your kids their kids will not have any type of debate or question on what you wanted to have happen when you're no longer here. And I think those are probably, some main categories and subcategories of why having a peaceful mind that would be considered.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense, Oscar. Also, some might argue that focusing on estate planning, it takes us away from living in the present moment. How would you address this concern from a mindfulness perspective?
You know, I think that it doesn't take away, it brings clarity to you. What I mean by that is, there is a misconception. It takes a lot of time. The reason why it's not preparing the documents is not what takes time. What takes time is having to decide, what child do I want to be able to be in charge and execute it. For some parents, it's easy because they have one or two children or three. Like, in my case, we were five children in ours, so I'm sure that was something that was difficult for my mother to do. However, knowing that it's taken care of and the decisions that have to be made is not a waste of time, because that is something. There's two things, I think, two things that are guaranteed to have happen in our lives. One is we're going to pay taxes, and two, we're going to die. Those are the only two things that we can do in order to exceed and excel and have peace of mind. That's going to happen. So having an estate plan is won't waste your time. It'll actually give you more tranquility and more peace of mind, knowing that has been accomplished. And I'll share with you why. Because when most people do their ceremony, or they get a ceremony that is completed, they literally call and say, you know what, I feel like I have just got an 800-pound gorilla off my back, and I have the peace of mind that my children are going to be okay when I'm done.
I totally, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. It's better to be prepared than to face the worst. Also,
And it's better to be prepared for the worst than and expect the best, right? But preparing for the worst thing that could happen. I mean, imagine that. Imagine, having a young child and having no guard, no, having a home, living the best life ever. You're living life, you're there, and you get into a tragic accident. You and your spouse get into an accident, and that happens every day in the world, but it happens. And then what's going to happen to your child? If you have a comprehensive living trust, you're going to get major documents, and I'm going to highlight the documents that come with a comprehensive living trust. One is you're going to get what's called a healthcare directive, and that helps you. And you're going to get what's a healthcare directive is to help you, or assign somebody to be able to make decisions about your health when you are no longer incapacitation, when you are not conscious and cannot make any medical decisions. One, okay. Two, the second document that you get with a comprehensive living trust, or a second document that is very, very important, is going to be what's called a guardianship. A guardianship plan, that means if you have young children, you're going to pick a temporary, a long term, and you're going to have an exclusion, so you can exclude the drunk uncle from your plan, or somebody or anybody that would not that you do not want to have take care of your kids. Three, the third document is going to be a pour over will that will be included in your comprehensive plan. The pour over will is designed in case you did not fund any assets or put any of the assets that you wanted to into the living trust, or you forgot it, or you accumulated it, or you came into it, before you put it into the living trust, the pour over will puts it into the goes into the living go puts it into the living trust, or gets it into the living trust. And another document that comes with the comprehensive living trust is a power of attorney. A power of attorney, which is a financial power of attorney that helps you get access to the bank accounts, monies, so your bills can be paid, and your obligations, so you don't lose any assets, lose the house, or do anything, any repercussions of people that did of for not making payments, for lack of payments. So
Mhm.
those are just some of the top documents that you get with a comprehensive living trust. There's a lot more that comes with it. I wish I had more time to explain, but that is what a comprehensive living trust does. Now, I wanted to give out, we have a 24-hour receptionist that is artificial intelligence, and you can ask it any questions and have a full conversation with it. It's 805-909-4689. That's 805-909-4689. You can literally call the receptionist 24 hours a day, anywhere in the United States. Call and ask any questions about estate planning that is state specific to your state. So she'll ask you your name, what state you're calling in from, and they'll take it from there.
That's really, really creative. That's really helpful, Oscar. Okay, and how can having a living trust or will in place help families stay connected and avoid conflict during challenging times?
Well, one of the reasons the family stays connected and they have peace of mind by having a living trust is because the grantor, or you, the parents, leave specific instructions on what you want to have happen and when you want it to happen on
Mhm.
there. And if there is instructions, there is no doubt on where you want to be buried, where you want to have happen, how long you want to be unconscious. Every specific instruction, every instruction and every detail is covered on the living trust. So that is something that is a must have for everybody. And I recommend that the peace of mind that you have by having a living trust is something that is priceless, and that is worth every ounce of peace in your mind, because it all starts in your mind.
Yeah, true. And how can this act of planning for the future through a living trust or will, how it can help us stay grounded and present in our daily lives, Oscar?
I think that how a living trust can stay grounded is knowing that, I mean, we can't take it with us, right? We can't take the assets. So we all wake up every day, we all work every day, we all have things that we accumulate every day. We all have that. However, the things, we cannot take anything with us. We come with nothing and we leave with nothing. So knowing that the peace of mind that why we work for is we save for tomorrow. If tomorrow doesn't come, we'll know that our beneficiaries, our kids, because that's in essence what we work for, is the future of generation, gives you that peace of mind by being able to have a full plan in place.
Hmm.
Okay, so with that said, you can go to, like I said, you can call the artificial intelligence phone number, 805-909-4689, or you can go to estate doc prep, estate doc prep, as in document preparation.com, and you can use, we give away a coupon code, a discount code which is called Mindful Living, is going to be your code for this show. So anybody listening to this show, use Mindful Living as a code to be able to get a discount on the show or on any estate plan. If you're anywhere in the United States, you can get that code handled for yourself and get it as a discount.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Oscar, for the generosity. And we'll have all the details along with the code and how to check it, how to use it in the show notes along with this episode. Oscar, thank you. Thank you so much for, explaining, giving us this knowledge about on this critical topic of estate planning, with perspective of mindfulness. And I think protecting our legacy doesn't have to be complicated and fearful. It just requires taking that first step. And hugely appreciate you for helping or everyone out there for taking this first step. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Listeners, if you learned something valuable today, be sure to check out Oscar's website at estatedoc.prep.com for resources and guidance tailored to your needs. And don't forget to share this episode with family and friends. It could save them time, money, and a lot of unnecessary stress. Until next time, this is your host, Sana, signing off. Stay mindful, stay intentional, and take care of your future today. Thank you.